What's up, guys? I'm getting ready for my first motocamp trip. Not only is it my first time camping, but it's the first time taking the KLX 300 out camping too. So let me show you the setup I have right now. Disregard this fake license plate I have on here. That's for a separate video I'm doing for the mullet system. I think it was a really good tail tidy for the KLX 300. But okay, so here's my setup. And again, this is my first time, so have some grace, right? I have a Tusk Excursion pannier bag on the side, a Tusk dry bag on the rear, and another Tusk Excursion on this side with a pole bag below. And you know, it's just not sitting right with me. It's off balance. It's not packed really well. But I'm lucky enough to live real close by Motocamp Nerd, and I went to his shop originally to pick up a jet boil, but I was talking to him about, you know, kind of the trouble I was having. And, you know, there's so much running through my head, this being my first camping trip. And he was like, okay, so it's not all fitting. Just get a bigger bag. And I don't know why I didn't even think about that, but he provided me with a bigger rear dry bag so I can keep all my tent and sleeping gear in the same place and keep it dry. So yeah, what I have on here now is the Tusk 20 liter small duffel bag. What Ben sent me home with is the Sea to Summit Big River dry bag, which holds 65 liters. It's definitely going to be enough to hold my tent and all my sleeping gear, according to Ben. And we both kind of agreed, we think 40 liters is going to be the sweet spot for the KLX 300. But we're going to test out this bag first and see if it'll fit everything and see, you know, how it is comfortability wise. So right now I have my sleeping bag, sleeping pad, and pillow in the dry bag. Then I had to stuff the tent and the tent footprint into this excursion bag. And I mean, it's really doing its best to hold that by itself. Honestly, I'm not even really sure what type of tent I have. I got it from a friend. So, you know, there might be smaller pack down options, but this is what I have to work with. And like I said, it's my first time out moto camping, so I'm not too picky. And then I got the Tusk pole bag to hold the tent poles, obviously, which leaves this right-hand side to hold my tools and, you know, things I need to get out of like an emergency situation. And so I told Ben at Motocamp Nerd, you know, I was gonna have to carry a backpack too with like my clothes and food and stuff like that. And I was kind of disappointed because I didn't want to bring a backpack. So that's when Ben recommended the bigger bag to me. So we'll go ahead and swap into that bigger bag and see, you know, kind of what that'll look like. But I just want to say again, you know, if you're interested in moto camping, hit up Ben at Motocamp Nerd, like email, phone call. He's going to talk you through pretty much anything. He's got the experience and the knowledge, and with how many different places my brain was, like I didn't even think to just get a bigger bag. So call up Ben, he will help you. Look at all this extra room. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer everything and we'll see what it looks like. I'm sure I was making some rookie mistakes there, but the 65 liter bag holds my entire sleep system. Tent footprint, rain cover, sleeping pad, sleeping bag, pillow. So that's really cool. And now I have all this extra room in the pannier bags for things like the jet boil or food or clothing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this strapped down to the bike now. I got the precision motorcycle racks on the KLX 300. So there it is, strapped down to the back of the KLX 300. I do still think the 40 liter one is gonna be the better bet. If you're looking for a bag for your KLX 300 to fit your entire sleep system in. Again, the Tusk 20 liter one, a little too small for me. This is the 65 liter, fits everything comfortably. I could fit a ton more stuff in here, but maybe a little big for what I'm looking for the KLX 300, right? But still gets the job done. So with my entire sleep system taken care of now on the back of the bike, that leaves me with 2 side panniers, right? Which should be plenty of room to fit the rest that I want to take with me. The KLX 300 I've always wanted to keep as kind of like a minimalist setup. So the least amount of stuff I could bring, the better, honestly. But now that I have all this extra room, I don't have to worry about putting like the spare tire tube in my backpack. I could just put it on the left side pannier now. Toiletries in the left side pannier. I'm not going to worry about taking food with me on this trip because it's a Motocamp event, right? So they did say there's going to be food trucks at the campsite, so I'm probably going to be hitting those, right, instead of bringing my own food. But I'm going to bring the JetBoil for coffee in the morning. So now on my left side pannier, I'm not going to unpack it, but I got clothes, I got the spare tire tubes, toiletries and all that. So feeling pretty good. I drove around a little bit to see if this dry bag would fall off, and you could see already splashing mud up. The amount of rain we've been getting on and off for the past couple of weeks has been just ridiculous, so I know it's going to be super slick out there. After this trip, I'm going on the Smoky Mountain 500, like almost immediately after, on my KLR 650. So I'm a little bit worried about how conditions are going to be out there for that, but we'll do just fine. I'm going to attach these panniers and then we'll go ahead and head to the campground. I'm going to get there a little bit later than I was planning, but that's because the radar is calling for a pretty big thunderstorm between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. So my game plan is to show up after the storm and set my gear up then. Again, this is my first time camping, and it's kind of like camping on easy mode because I get to go to a campground, you know, and I'll have resources nearby and all that. So this is a good little test run for the Smoky Mountain 500 coming up. All right, y'all, so here's the final setup here. I'm not 100% confident in it. You know, as long as everything stays on, I'm happy with that. I got plenty of time to refine this in the future. So I'll see you guys in Floyd, Virginia. All right, y'all, so I pulled up to Crooked Mountain Campground, and probably like 5 minutes after I got here, it just started downpouring. There was tornado warnings and all that. So luckily myself and my gear there, I was able to take into the store up front. I'll show you guys that later. Pretty cool store. But yeah, so it blew over and now it's blue skies out here. So the only thing that has me concerned now as a total noob here, right? Like creekside campsite might not be the best idea when it's been raining a whole bunch. It's not going to show on camera, but that ground is all muddy and soaked. But like you can see, it's got pretty good drainage down here. It's around 4:35 now. Maybe like 2 hours of sunlight will help dry that out. So I think I'm going to hold off on setting up my tent for now. Some time to kill while I try to wait for that campground to dry out. So let me show you around Crooked Mountain. Again, this is Crooked Mountain in Floyd, Virginia. Got a lot of dispersed camping, general camping out there. Hopefully you can see that. Some creekside campsites. Some creekside campsites. There are 6 of those. I got one of them because they said you can bring like 3 other people with you or whatever for those sites. So I got a couple buddies showing up. And here's the store I was telling you about. And here's the inside of the store at Crooked Mountain. They got a lot of supplies, things you may have forgotten. They got t-shirts, hats, all that, motorcycle supplies, camping supplies. They got a bit of everything. Love these t-shirts here, and you know, tire tubes, cool coffee mugs, you know, just a little bit of everything. So that was it, right? That was the store. I didn't want to talk in there while I was recording, but they got a lot of great stuff for if you forgot any of your goods or anything like that. Really cool store. Really nice people. Great spot to be. Here's you know, the campsite from the other end. Lots of great camping spots out here. Maybe I'll do a little loop and check out some of these other creekside sites. There's a bathroom there. Never know if you're gonna need a bathroom. So these are all creekside over here. Hey, I think If you're coming out here, Creekside site number 6. Very nice. Check this one out. I looked at this earlier. Gives you really good access to the creek there, and a big old spot to set up all your tents. Yeah, 6 is nice. What a beautiful spot though. It's gonna be a great weekend of riding. Again, just kind of sitting around now waiting for things to dry out, and let me get off 6's campground just in case they show up. But yeah, eventually Dalton and his friend will show up, and yeah, we'll hang out tonight and have a good time, and tomorrow do a bunch of dual sport riding. So it's gonna be a great weekend. So I waited about an hour. I don't think there's much shot of things drying out more than it is now, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to set up the tent here. That way, if I mess up, at least I can retry a couple times, right? Let me show you this thing. I still got to get the rain cover on it, but look at this. That's not bad, is it? It's actually got plenty of room in there. You unzip it. That's gonna fit me for sure. Huh? That's not bad. Creekside. I like it. You know what else I was thinking about? If there was ever a time for me to encounter a snake on a camping trip, it might be this one, okay? Because like on Creekside, they seek out heat, right? So it's gonna be a little bit cold tonight. I think it's gonna be like 50 degrees. And yeah, do you think they're just gonna like seek me out? That would be terrifying, especially for my first camping trip. So we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and get this rain cover on, and then we'll set up the pad and the pillow, and I'll hop in there and see what it's like. I think that's the best I know how to do with the rain cover, but you know, how come it's not secure on the sides? Do you guys have any ideas? Let me know. Like I said, I'm brand new to this. Oh, that's the brand too of this, apparently, Mountain Smith. So as far as pads go, I went with the Kilos gear because they were aggressively advertising on all my social media feeds. I saw these ads all over the place. So it's a blow up sleeping pad with a pillow, and then I picked up a pump, the one that was recommended by the Bearded Grump, if you guys ever watch him. Here's the pump. I can link that in the description if you want. But yeah, let's get this thing set up. So the sleeping pad is done now. Just gonna set up the pillow. And the cool thing about the pillow is it actually straps onto the pad, so you know it's not gonna go anywhere when you're sleeping. I know this might be awkward, but we're in here now. We're about this life. Hey, just a couple quick notes here. I'm 6'6", so it's kind of hard for me to find camping gear. This tent, I'll have to figure out what it's called for other tall campers, because I'm fitting in it pretty good. My toes are hitting the very bottom edge of it, but I normally sleep on my side anyway, so it should work for me. This sleeping pad from Kilos though, feels amazing. I'm very happy with it so far. And again, I'm 6'6", my whole body is on the sleeping pad. And the pillow feels nice and soft too. And it's nice to know that it's not gonna go anywhere, but you know, I'll have a better feel, you know, after tonight happens, I guess. And when Dalton and Jason showed up, they got to work immediately on setting up their tents before the next rain shower came. Jason forged some wood for the fire, and Dalton had to borrow this pump to blow up this giant air mattress. So if you're wondering about this pump, it works great. It blew this thing up. Then we headed back to store to hit the food truck and get some dinner. I told you all, camping on easy mode. Got a burger and fries out here on the first camp. The only problem we're having is it just will not stop raining. So once the rain calmed down, everyone just kind of enjoyed the night. We had a great fire and prepared for the next day. So last night was kind of rushed. As soon as Dalton and Jason got here, you know, they needed to set up their tents real quick to dodge the rain. It's pretty funny. You know, as soon as I got my tent all set up and stuff, they were like, hey, you need to move that. We need some room. So, you know, happy to do it, obviously. But yeah, first night of camping was really fun. Had a great time. There's definitely some things that I'm learning, obviously, right? And I'll talk about that once we hit the road. And, you know, I think we got like a 100-mile loop today. So we'll talk about some stuff during that. But yeah, woke up this morning. Sunrise was beautiful. Had the jet boil going. So drinking my coffee, feeling good. Really just feeling, you know, happy to really even have these opportunities. It's just a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of it. So I'll check back in with y'all when we head off on the ride. So guys, while I was roughing it in that tiny tent, look at this sweet setup. We got a mansion in here. All right, y'all. So yeah, that was the first day of camping right there. Pretty good night, honestly. I was a little bit colder than I wanted to be, but you know, at any point I could have gotten up and added more layers. I was just a little too lazy and trying to sleep in. So tonight I'll probably wear thermals, but it was a really good test run for, you know, how it's going to be during the Smoky Mountain 500, I feel like. So we're going to go on a dual sport ride today. It's going to be a good day. I'll record some of it. Oh, Dalton also taught me why my little rain cover looked so funny was because I didn't have it stretched out far enough, and the vestibule part where things stay dry underneath. Hey Dalton, are you still there? I forgot my gloves. Alright, let me go double back. My bad, dude. Now we're ready to go, guys. Now we got the gloves. Now we're ready. Let's get out of this campground and see some pretty stuff. Huh, hold on.
Hey, y'all looking for somebody to ride with?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't have anybody to ride. I'm local, so I know.
Oh, okay, cool.
Where I'm going, but I'll ride whichever way y'all want to.
Yeah, Dalton's got a route planned out already, but okay, if you want to tag along, yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, that'd be great. If you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your name?
I'm Shane.
I'm Derek.
Derek.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Dalton, we're gonna ride with Shane here too.
Oh, you guys got comms?
Cardo.
Yeah.
All right, so we picked up a solo rider. He's gonna ride with us. He's a local, so he knows these places pretty well too. So, oh yeah, what I was gonna tell y'all is, you remember how I mentioned that I did not want to ride with a backpack today? Well, I didn't really think about, once you have base camp set up, like, there's no sense in like repacking all your stuff. So Jason up there wheeling. I'm probably too far away for you to see that. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of a hassle to have to repack up all your stuff. So I left everything behind at camp, and I might have been better off just riding with a backpack today. I don't know. So Shane, if you're ever watching this, thanks so much for showing us around Virginia. We got into such crazy dual sport adventure that I need to make a totally separate video to go over this whole ride. So here's just a couple of the highlights from the day. So Shane here is showing us a little side quest that we didn't know about. He said there might be a creek crossing up ahead. So look, it's awesome to have Dalton and Shane. Shane's a bit of a local. Dalton is the professional navigator. We're gonna have a good day. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Floyd, Virginia. Did he go right through? Thing I've gotten into in a while. This is my kind of dual sporting, dude. Alright, so what Dalton was just explaining to us is that he's seen a lot of people struggle up this trail. So we'll see how it goes. Just got to keep momentum. Incredible dual sport riding out here in Floyd, Virginia. Like, this is not what I was expecting. I was expecting just like a couple little gravel roads and stuff. So, wow. Dalton, I'm pausing here, dude. All right, so first time moto camping, definitely awesome. I hope you liked a little bit of the highlights of the riding today. If you want to watch the full ride, or at least what I could capture, I'll have a separate video for that next week. But yeah, I love moto camping. I'm really excited to do it more this year. And I got the Smoky Mountain 500 coming up in a couple days, so it's gonna be a good one. Thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in the KLX 300 or moto camping, please subscribe. Helps me out a ton. Thanks so much. Catch you on the next one.
I think it's cool you can hear the power.